What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs, and in today's video, I'm going over the Week 4 two-game Monday Night Slate, kind of recap yesterday's main slate line as well. So let's get into the recap, and then we'll move on to this two-game slate. So this is what I had. This is the $25 single entry double up. I always use this as the reference. This is kind of, where you dictate where your line was at. I had a really good week. Thankfully, no one on my team got injured, so I didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, I had a really solid week with my main line. I went with the Buffalo Josh Allen James Cook route, right? I called when I said it that, hey, this is pretty much the safety. So I didn't go the Caleb Williams. I didn't go the Geno Smith. I did contemplate going Drake May, Jackson Dart, and then paying up for like a CMC as well. But I went the Josh Allen James Cook route, which that one paid off for sure. Went with the Chalk Amari and Hampton. Did not go Cam Scatterbo in this lineup. It just didn't fit with what I wanted. Got Rome on the Bears side, so I did get some action in that game. I just went with Rome over Myers and Bowers. I did. Looking at it now, I did love Genty. I got him a lot in tournaments. Could have boosted this, but you know what? I'm just happy I cashed. Happy I didn't have an injury, and we just grow and continue. Went with the Puka Chalk as well, so I got the Hampton. I got the Puka Chalk. Didn't want either one of those guys to really kill the lineup. Double stacked Indy. This one was risky for me. Mitchell dropped that touchdown on the 1 yard line. Otherwise, I would have had a extra 6 points added to it. But he still paid off for his 3.1 price tag. Got me 10 plus points. Tyler Warren, one of the best tight ends on the slate. Goddard was up there too. Pitts, Chris Olave, that touchdown definitely helped a lot. And then the Titans defense, I just paid down, right? And this is where it kind of paid off, right? Texans defense, if you went Texans, you still had a really good showing if you played your lineups right. They're chalky, they paid off. But I went with Mitchell as my value. So between Mitchell and the Titans defense, I think that really helped my lineup. So this was one of the better weeks that you could have in cash. Like I said, I'm just happy I didn't have an injury kind of preventing it. If I win or lose, I want it to be because I picked the wrong players, not because a player got hurt. So last week was kind of that, but week 1 and 2 were definitely injuries preventing cash. So yeah, let's get into why you guys are here now. So going over this two-game slate, it's, to me, I don't know how you guys are looking at it, but to me, on paper, it's pretty easy to identify what we're targeting, right? So for quarterbacks, I mean, it's really hard to play Jake Browning on this one. 5,700, he's more expensive than Justin Fields and Tua. Playing against Denver's secondary, it's a tough matchup for him. It really is, right? If you want to get different, you play Jake Browning because it just seems so bad on paper playing against one of the better defenses in the leagues. Granted, Denver's defense hasn't hit that, elite status yet. But against Jake Browning, against, a guy that turned the ball over a lot, where we just saw a Minnesota defense kind of shine, it's easy to fade Jake Browning in this one. But you're getting two cheap quarterbacks in Justin Fields and Tua, and then a solid play in Bo Nix against the Bengals. So where I'm kind of at for this is, I think Bo Nix is in a great spot, obviously. He's not that expensive, too. This is, for a two-game slate, a lot of these prices are very cheap. So we're going to see a lot of similar lineups tonight, which sucks. But we're going to see Bo Nix and Justin Fields probably as the two highest-owned quarterbacks in this one. I lean Justin Fields a little more just because of the rushing upside. Miami's defense is just, they weren't good on paper in the secondary. They've dealt with some injuries already. You have someone like Minkah Fitzpatrick, Rasul Douglas, those guys trying to help, make this defense not as bad as they are. But, I mean, two guys can only do so much. They have another two corners out, right? Storm Duck's been out. Marshall is out for this one. So Justin Fields seems like a really, really good play in this one. Bo Nix, I mentioned. Cincy's defense against the pass hasn't been as bad as I thought they would be yet. This could easily be one of those games where we see them get just murdered. But against the pass, they haven't been bad. And that's because they've been so bad against the run. Stewart, the rookie edge, is out this game. That's, a huge blow to a Denver team to where they've been very, very successful running the ball. So I lean Justin Fields is probably my top quarterback in this one, but Bo Nix is close. And on the other side with Tua, Tua could be interesting because it's a division game, because they're at home. We could see Miami throwing the ball a lot. Jermaine Johnson is out for the Jets. That's a huge blow to their rush. So we could see someone like Tua shine. Granted, you still have some good pieces in the Jets, and you have one of the best corners in the league in Sauce Gardner, who's going to be facing up against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle all game. So granted, Jalen Waddle or Tyreek, one of those two guys is not going to have Sauce, which is good, but the Jets still have some pieces there. But I could see Tua getting there definitely with some passing, especially if the Jets can do what they should be able to do in this game, which is control the clock, run the ball, and Miami's forced to throw it a lot. So Fields number one, Knicks, Tua, Browning is kind of where I'm at for the quarterbacks. Running backs, Devon Achane is not that expensive, and he should be more expensive. I think a lot of people are going to be concerned with Ollie Gordon's usage to scare away, the Achane ownership, which, I mean, if we're getting to the red zone, yes, Ollie Gordon's going to get those carries. He's going to get the red zone carries, which is worrisome. That's where you want someone like Devon Achane to get that work. But Devon Achane, I mean, he's still going to get a lot of volume, right? He hasn't been the worst on the ground. He really hasn't. His numbers are good. He's getting used in the receiving game as well. And we're seeing him only at a $7,000 price tag for a guy that's getting quite a bit of volume. So Devon Achane easily playable on this one. Yet again, Chase Brown is more expensive than J.K. Dobbins and Breece Hall. It's very hard to play Chase Brown and Jake Browning when they're more expensive than guys in better matchups. Chase Brown has not looked good this season, and a lot of that is to do with the whole Joe Burrow situation. But it's very tough, very, very tough for someone like Chase Brown to succeed when the Bengals passing game is not efficient, right? When the Bengals passing game is efficient and teams have to worry about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, Chase Brown excels. He just gets open more, right? He's able to control the ground more because teams have to worry about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins when Joe Burrow's throwing the ball. We've seen moments, though, when Jake Browning is a good backup. He's one of the better backups in the league. But when you go and face Minnesota and their tough defense, and then you go the next week and face Denver and Denver's defense, it's a tough situation for Jake Browning for this Bengals team. So I'm going to be lower on the Bengals in total. So yeah, Achane's in a great spot. J.K. Dobbins is very cheap in my opinion against this Bengals defense who has Stewart out. J.K. Dobbins is getting the red zone, the goal line work for Denver. He's in a great spot. Breece Hall. Braylon Allen is stealing the red zone work as well for Breece Hall. But this is a really good bounce back opportunity game for someone like Breece Hall to where hasn't been really efficient. You kind of look at some of the defenses he's faced and they haven't been, favorable matchup for him. This one against Miami, where their defensive line is good, I will give Miami that. They have some good potential pieces there. It's just how bad their secondary is. It doesn't help. But yeah, we're getting Breece Hall at a pretty hefty discount in this one against a very bad Miami team. So where I'm looking at this slate is I want Achane, I want J.K. Dobbins, I want Breece Hall. Where are you going to find value and go elsewhere? Braylon Allen is 5,200. He could easily see the goal line work. He could get you 10 plus points in a slate like this and hit some value. So Braylon Allen, I think, is a nice value piece at 5,200. RJ Harvey at 4,800. And Ollie Gordon. Like, these guys is kind of where you have value. You have value on this slate. You could get different. We've seen it to where it seems so, simple and easy to say Achane, Dobbins, Hall easily outscore Braylon Allen, RJ Harvey, and Ollie Gordon. And we've seen backups kind of score more, or some of these guys outscore some of the other starters in the other games. So if you want to get different and you want to find some leverage and go a different way, RJ Harvey I think is in a really, really good spot at 4,800, cheaper than Braylon Allen, a little more expensive than Ollie Gordon, but I think RJ Harvey has the best matchup of these three backups. So he's kind of the guy I'm looking at. And I mean, he just needs some extra volume. He's looked good. He really has looked good. I don't want these numbers to kind of dictate where he can be, especially when you're facing a Cincinnati defense. Like, you consider Indy's defense. They did really good against Kyron yesterday. The Chargers defense, they've done pretty damn good, right? They stopped Cam Scatterboo quite a bit. So I like RJ Harvey of the most of the backups. So if you're looking to get different, you're looking for some value elsewhere, you could easily go and say, hey, I want to grab Achane, I want to grab J.K. Dobbins, and I want to grab someone like R.J. Harvey. That's perfectly fine to play a 3 running back, and you get all of Denver's running back points, essentially. Wide receivers, Jamar Chase, yet again, it's very hard to play on a slate like this. When you're going to see someone like Pat Surtain, it's very tough. So I'm going to be lower on Jamar Chase. I still want to get some exposure to him and T. Higgins, but it's going to be very, very low. I'm going to want to get Tyreek Hill in a favorable matchup against the Jets, right? You're still going to face someone like Sauce Gardner. But I think him and Jalen Waddle have the opportunity to get a nice size game here if Miami's going to be down. So, yes, I like Tyreek Hill. I like Jalen Waddle in this one. Garrett Wilson, I think, is a must in this one. Even if what I think is going to happen, the Jets are going to run the ball quite a bit, Garrett Wilson is still seeing a high target share. He is their red zone guy as well. And against a depleted Miami secondary, he's in a great spot. Courtland Sutton, also, the price tag for Courtland Sutton is very, very nice. He's right around the range we've seen him so far this season, so 6,100 I think is a fair price point, especially last week when he got 26 points against the Chargers. I think 6,100 against Cincy is just amazing. Still kind of cheap in my opinion, so I think he's a stackable piece in this one. And then Troy Franklin at 4,100. I love Troy Franklin tonight. I think Troy Franklin has a really good matchup. Like I said, Cincy's secondary has not looked as bad as I thought they would at this point. They have 4 interceptions. They kind of haven't looked dead all year, especially with the names that you have in that secondary. I think they've played okay, so there is some worry with Denver, right? Just kind of doing what Minnesota did and use their running back, just play off their running back, let, Jordan Mason score, which he did, and now go with, J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, go that route, pass when you need to. So I think Troy Franklin is kind of one of those value pieces tonight, though, that I like in my lineup. So 4,100, I'm definitely going to get exposure, especially the discount compared to, Jalen Waddle and T. Higgins, wide receiver 2s for teams. Troy Franklin for a wide receiver 2 at 4,100, I think is a good price. The other places you could get different is Malik Washington at 3,500 against the Jets. He's going to line up in the slot a lot, and that's where you're going to see someone like Michael Carter. So I think he's got a good matchup there. At 3,500, I definitely want to get some exposure in that one as well. And then for the Jets, it's really hard. I could see a number of situations, but, Allen Lazard, Josh Reynolds, one of those guys is probably going to see, 5+ points in this one. Do I really want to get exposure to it? No. But you have to remember, it is Miami's secondary, so there's a good chance one of these guys pop off and possibly potentially get a touchdown. So I'm going to want to get some exposure to both of these guys against a terrible Miami defense. So it's kind of where I'm at for the wide receivers. Tight ends, this is ugly. If you guys haven't seen this before, this is a tough tight end lineup to kind of pick from. You get Evan Ingram, who, what is this, right? What is this? It's not the Evan Ingram we're used to. He's in a great spot against Cincinnati, right? He looks like one of the guys we could target easily at 3,700. He's very cheap. Like, all these guys are cheap in good spots. It's pretty much a punt at tight end, right? Get exposure to all of them, in my opinion, besides Darren Waller. So I want to get Evan Ingram, Mike Gesicki, which Noah Fant is out, so that's a huge plus to someone like Mike Gesicki in this one at 2,900. And then Mason Taylor's 2,700. You're getting a lot of value. You're able to pay up, which is why I said this slate seems pretty simple. We're going to see a lot of similar lineups where I think the biggest difference that you're going to see is the tight end exposure. Evan Ingram seems like the best play at tight end against Cincinnati. He's very cheap compared to where he should be with what he's produced in the past. This season, with what he's produced, yes, he should be even cheaper than 3,700. He should probably be around the 3,300 range. But it's a great matchup for him. He just needs to be included. He needs to not be just, a rock out there. He needs to be the tight end we're kind of used to in the past. So you could pretty much punt between Evan Ingram, Mike Gesicki, and Mason Taylor. They're all in good spots, right? Even Mike Gesicki against Denver, this could be a game where we see Mike Gesicki get a little more volume with Noah Fant out. That's a huge plus for him. Darren Waller, I don't know how much we're going to see Darren Waller. That is the biggest turnoff for me. He's got a good matchup against the Jets. It's just I'm very concerned of the amount of snaps he's going to get, right? So that's my biggest concern with him. Mason Taylor kind of seems like one of the better plays for me, in my opinion. Saw 6 targets, but guess what? That's not with Justin Fields. That's with Tyrod Taylor. So maybe Justin Fields, like we saw in the past with someone like Cole Kmet, Pat Freiermuth, we see that connection go kind of there. But man, Evan Ingram just seems like the best play, but it's still ugly. So I'm going to want split ownership pretty much of Mason Taylor, Gesicki, and Evan Ingram. And they're all cheap, so it really doesn't hurt. Defenses, I mean, this one to me is simple. I'm either going Denver or I'm going the Jets. That's kind of where I'm at, right? The Jets have the potential. We know Tua kind of struggles under pressure, so I'm either going Jets or I'm going Denver. Denver obviously seems like the best play. So if you want to get different from Denver, go with one of these defenses. It's really hard to play someone like the Bengals defense with, you still have Trey Hendricks in there. I mentioned Stewart's out. That's a huge blow. Their secondary's got some turnovers, but it's really hard to play them. I'd rather take a shot in saying that, either the Jets defense is going to be able to hold Tua or Miami's defense is going to, get some takeaways from Justin Fields, who hasn't been the most successful passing the ball. So I'd rather tell myself that story in the Dolphins and Jets than go Cincinnati. So let's do an example lineup. So I mentioned I like Fields, I like Achane, I like Dobbins, I like Garrett Wilson, definitely going to have him. Let's put Troy Franklin in there, like him. Let's go Tyreek Hill. Denver. We'll go to defense just so we can see what we're rocking with. We'll go Denver's defense. Tight end. We'll go Mason Taylor. Let's get another piece of that, and then we have 9,000, so we could pretty much go anywhere. So, where could we switch up? Obviously, we could go different from Troy Franklin. Let's put Sutton in. And then we're left with 7,000, so we could go someone like a Breece Hall in this one. But you're going to have money left over, right? We're not going any Cincinnati player in this one. We're not getting Jalen Waddle. So kind of where I'm at, right? I got a 4 stack of Jets, have Tyreek Hill and Achane as run backs, and then have J.K. Dobbins and Cortland Sutton as my 2 Denver players. So that's just an example. And look at the average, or the remaining salary. Sorry, not the average. The remaining salary is $1,300. So it's definitely going to be a lot different. You could go different places, but like I said, this slate, we're going to see a lot of similar ownership. So hope you guys did enjoy. Hope you guys had a good main slate yesterday. Definitely, Malik Neighbors' big injury is going to be concerning. We're getting into the bye week, so each week we're going to see, a smaller Sunday slate usually. So we'll see where our ownership goes from here on. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.